Let's wait. Yeah.
I'm currently the only viewer.
Hello everyone. Hello.
Hello.
Let's wait for more viewers and we will start. Hello.
Hi everyone, just like 10, 20 more views would be great, and then we'll get started. Tell your friends, tell your parents. Go on, any more
Yes.
viewers? Alright, around 100, should we start?
Hi, Lisa.
Hello everyone. How are you?
Hi, Khalida.
Loving all the comments, guys. Leave any questions, introduce yourselves in the comments. We'd love to know where you're from, what your name is, how you're feeling today. Just leave it in the comment section.
Yes, UWC Portugal.
Yes. Hello Mane.
I see I am there. Alright, should we introduce
Okay guys, so let's start. We'll first of all introduce ourselves and then we'll move on to the questions.
There we go.
So first of all, I'm Haik. I'm from Armenia, studying at UWC as a first year student. So I love enjoying the nature, and also I'm pretty involved in mathematical sciences and in sciences in general. So, okay.
That's nice. Hi, I'm Divine. I'm from Zimbabwe. I'm a DP2 student at UWCD. Some of my interests are reading, I don't know, music, dance, fun stuff. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Anna Marie and I'm from Norway. I'm also a first year student, and some of my interests are theater and music and film.
Hi everyone, my name is Mikhail. Thank you all for coming. I'm very happy to be here today. Like Divine, I'm also a second year student here at UWC Dilijan College. I'd say my main interests are definitely psychology, although not offered at the school, it is something I would like to pursue, and also kickboxing.
Yes. Okay. So before we start the Q&A, I'm going to give you a little description about our school. So UWC Dilijan is a UWC school that was founded in 2014 by the social entrepreneurs and impact investors, Veronica Zonnebend and Ruben Vatanyan. It is a school located in Armenia, which is a country between Asia and Europe. And specifically, we're located in Dilijan, which is a small town in Armenia, also known as like the little Switzerland of Armenia, because there's so much nature, like it's all trees and mountains, very beautiful. But yeah, we are a school that houses about 220 students. Today we're going to be answering your questions. So yeah, you can send them in the comment section.
Okay, so the first question is about IB. What did you choose? Is it hard? So this is a relatively positive question. So basically, IB is an international baccalaureate. It's about general education for international students. Is it hard? Like, this is a relative question. So it might be hard for some people and might seem easy for some, though it's not very realistic. So basically, I'm taking two sciences with mathematics, and I'm managing it like fine. But it could be different for everyone, and it also depends on your major. So basically, what you choose for your profession, you choose like consequently your subjects, and your subject choice depends only on you. So basically, it may differ for everyone.
Yeah, definitely the IB is notoriously very hard, but the key point here is that it's not impossible, you know? It is difficult, but everyone likes a challenge, so why not?
The next question, I'm a pre-IB student. Does it make any advantage for me while applying? Actually, it is giving life experience to you. You're learning new stuff about UWC in general, about International Baccalaureate, and it is actually an advantage because you have more experience while applying. And yeah, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I'd say, I mean, it doesn't really, because people from different curriculums can all apply to study at UWC. Like, from any curriculum you can apply to study the International Baccalaureate. I'm not sure if it would give you an advantage per se, because I didn't take pre-IB or anything, but like, basically anyone from any other, like, even if you're studying your national curriculum, you can apply to study the IB. So, yeah.
The next question, who did you guys choose to do your recommendation letters and why? Do you want to answer this question?
I think this depends on each NC. Every NC, so the terms that I'm using, by the way, there's two ways you can apply, either through GSB, which is Global Selection Program, or NC, which is National Committee. The main difference is Global Selection Program does not offer any financial assistance, while NC does. I believe we will apply through NC? Yeah. So with NC, it differs from country to country. Every country has its own national committee. Personally, for England, you had an academic reference and an activity reference. And I think the selections officer specifically said for your academic reference, don't pick a subject where you get the best grades or you perform the best. Pick a subject where you feel you enjoy it, you're passionate about it. And I mean, it's good if you get the best grades in that subject, but that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is to make sure that that teacher really understands you. So send your references to someone that you feel really gets you as a person. And similar thing for the activities one. Just make sure you send it to someone who really understands you as a person and can speak a lot about you.
Yeah. We have an interesting question. What is your number one tip to future applicants? So first of all, you need to be yourself. And for you, you need to understand why are you choosing UWC, what will it give to you, like personally. You understand it for you, you ask this question to yourself, and then when you answer it, I'm pretty much sure that it will give much benefit to you. And when applying, you will use your overall experience and knowledge, and you can share many things about yourself, like your preferences, your strong sides, your life experience, and you can bring some examples from your own life to show that you're really a responsible person. You are ready to eat. You also it's also important to mention that like it's important to show why are you ready to study in UWC, and why is it important to be ready to live by your own. Yeah, I think that's it.
I think we should maybe leave a comment on the top saying that, you know, it's the UWC Dilijan Q&A session. Leave your questions here. I see a few people asking. Just leave a comment at the top, maybe. Like if you can pin it.
Okay, so the next question. Tell us about the interview. How was it? What sort of questions are there? And what are they expecting from us? Do you want to answer this?
I think the interview really depends from national committee to national committee, or even when you're applying through the global selection program, it really depends. But what I find most common across NCs is usually they ask you about yourself and your interests and why you want to apply, so you can definitely expect those types of questions. But it really depends on specific interviews and specific national committees. I don't know if you guys have anything to add.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, very similar to Divine, building on that. It's kind of a weird interview. Like I had interviews for other colleges for A-levels back in the UK, and they were very much, you know, straight to the point, very about academics, about all that. But with UWC, the interview was more abstract. There was a lot of critical thinking questions, a lot of hypotheticals, and it was kind of a weird interview. But again, the main point, like Hayek said earlier, is it sounds really cliche and you've probably heard it 100 times. And you're probably second guessing it when people say it is, but to be yourself, that's the best application advice there is, especially for interviews when you're face to face with the interviewer, because at least in the GB National Committee, they're not going to ask you questions about academics too much. It's more about you as a person. So answer them truthfully, and then that will give you the best chance of being successful.
Yeah, I think what the national committees are, they're really looking for like different types of people. So don't try to fit into a box of what you think the perfect UWC student is.
Do people who apply a second time have a higher chance of getting in? I know it sounds weird, but I want to know for sure. So basically, applying for a second time doesn't really give you advantage. You may have the opportunity to show that applying for the second time, you already gained something new, like what is different from you when you were applying the previous year, and you can show some improvement, which could be taken as advantage.
Definitely. Maybe we should say a bit more about ourselves before we keep going.
You can start.
Okay. So as I said, I'm Divine from Zimbabwe. I'm a DP2 currently, and the subjects I'm taking are mathematics, analysis and approaches, higher level, physics, higher level, economics, higher level as well. And then for my standard levels, I have Spanish, English, Spanish ab initio, English, language and literature, and computer science. And
yeah, and basically in IB you have 6 subjects. You have to choose 6 subjects, 3 of which is at standard level and 3 of which are at a higher level, like prioritizing your, your preferences.
yeah, and then we also have the option for CASs. So for my, which is activities you do outside the academic part of the IB. So for my CASs I have, I'm part of the organizing committee for TEDx UWCD, and then I also take rock climbing and math competitions CAS. How about you guys?
So I'm Haik, I'm 17, I'm from Armenia, I'm local. As for my classes, I'm taking swimming for intermediate, but there's also swimming for beginners, if you're a beginner. Then I'm taking robotics, which is my creativity class. Then I'm also taking science with kids, which is experimental and quite fun. And as for my subjects, I'm taking mathematics, double sciences. I'm also taking Armenian literature. I'm taking English B. And yeah, I think about your literature. You can choose the literature of your language in your language if it is provided by IB, because there are some languages that are not provided. So basically you can find the list on the IB official page, and you can look if there is available your subject that you want to choose for your literature is available or not, and you can just choose it as your subject for your language acquisition. Okay, what about you guys?
Should I go first?
Yeah.
Alright, if anyone just joined, we're reintroducing ourselves. My name is Mikhail. I am originally from Pakistan. Both my parents are from Pakistan, but I was born and raised in England. I'm 17 years old. Like Divine here, I'm a second year student at UWC Dilijan College. I am taking biology, chemistry and philosophy at high level, and language and culture, which is a pilot course, which I believe UWC Dilijan is only one of 12 IB schools worldwide to offer. So it's very interesting to be a part of that. Also mathematics, applications and interpretations, and I've forgotten about that, so that's pretty bad. Spanish. I take Spanish as well. In terms of CASs, with Divine, I'm also part of the TEDx organizing team. I am leader of the boxing CAS here at UWC Dilijan as well. Cooking CAS and meditation CAS, teaching science to local kids, and there's one more, but I slipped my mind, so I'll just move on.
Hello, my name is Anna Maria and I'm from Norway. My classes are HLs, English B, Theatre and ESS, which stands for Environmental Systems and Societies. And then my SLs are Norwegian Self-Taught, Math, AA, and what's the last one? Geography. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my classes are girls football, film cast, and teaching theatre to kids to the international school here.
So guys, let's move on to the questions again. So first of all, we have a question about specifying computer science. So as for computer science, we're learning background knowledge. It's not really languages in computer science, but just a preparation. We're learning about the basics on which we're gonna learn our language in computer science. And usually in the IB it's Java. So the same is in UWCD. You learn coding in Java, and for your internal assessment, you have to make your web page or your application on Java, and basically that's it. That's the CS course.
Yeah, I'm also taking computer science, and I'm a second year. We're basically just doing Java. It's at UWCD. It's only offered at standard level, but you are free to learn more through the coding CAS or the robotics CAS. But in the classroom we learn the basics of coding, so from pseudocode to Java, and then we also do some theory and just computer science.
There's an interesting question. Can I use simple words in my essays? So basically it doesn't depend which kind of words do you use. The more important thing is to introduce yourself correctly, show why are you applying, show the answer, answer the question with your essay. And it's not really important to use it's not an important question to use simple words or complicated words, and try to be yourself and just answer the question the way it is. Don't complicate yourself.
We keep sending in questions, guys. We want to see more.
Guys, send some questions.
Anything that's on your mind, there's no such thing as a bad question, so just keep asking.
Also, ask more questions about the UWC experience. That's more fun than academics.
Yeah, they don't all have to be academics.
Yeah.
UWC Dilijan is a great campus. There's a lot going on. So ask about our experience as well.
Yeah. Actually, I think all UWCs are boarding schools. Same with UWC Dilijan. So we're residential schools, and almost all of our 220 students from 80 nationalities live on campus. So there's so many interesting things that go on since we all live together, and we get to have that experience together. And that's also, if you have any questions about that.
What about music classes? Does any of you take music classes?
We do have a very, very talented music coordinator, Karina. She's very passionate. I think she plays many instruments herself. The music room that we have is very well equipped. You'll have every instrument you could ever find. Very often there's concerts that are hosted by the school which are extraordinary. There's a lot of international, national and local talent that come to perform at our school. It's a great opportunity to interact with music. Music is definitely a big part of our school. You know, like Divine said, it's 80 different nationalities, and music is a big part of every culture. So you walk into one room, you hear music playing there from Norway. You walk into another room, you hear music playing from Italy. Another room, you hear music from South Africa. So music is a very big part of our experience here, and the music facilities are great. You can definitely be supported in terms of your interest in music. Classes are offered both as a CAS and outside of CAS. We have 3 pianos, 4 guitars, lots of different instruments.
Yeah, and also every 3 weeks we have something we call regional evenings, which is when a region perform different performances, for example music and dances, to show for the rest of the school.
Yeah. So we have a question. Can I get accepted without having extracurriculars? Basically, it is preferable to have extracurriculars, more specifically volunteering, and also to do something besides your classes. And you must show that you're really passionate about doing something besides your classes, not only concentrating about the academic details, because for the IB it is the same logic. Most importantly, IB is not only about studying and doing your homework. It is also about empowering the youth, being included in many events, and for example, doing surveys, doing some activities, showing your creativity through different sessions or something. So basically that's the reason why it is more preferable to have some extracurricular activities before applying. There's a question, what do you think was so special about yourself and you got accepted? Do you want to answer this question?
Oh, I can start, I think. I think the thing with my application was I think I was genuinely just very enthusiastic. Like, I was so excited to be, to have the opportunity to even apply to UWC. The idea of it was just so amazing to me. I really wanted to go to study abroad in an international school with so many different people. So I think I really showed that enthusiasm in my application. And even in the interview, I think I was very passionate. And I was just so happy to just be there. And I think that's what made me stand out.
I think for me, you can ask for the comments that your interviewers made on your interview from your NC, but for me, what I felt really made me stand out from other people in my interview group was my confidence in myself and in a group. I was not afraid to speak up when the questions were asked. I was not afraid to express concerns, and overall, I was just very confident in myself. Like, it might have been a bit stupid, but I didn't even apply to any other colleges. So it was UWC or straight to work for me. So I just had like 100% confidence in myself. There was only one option. This was meant to happen. It's going to happen. And I think that's something that really, really contributed to me getting my place in.
Yeah, so I think in Norway we don't really have like the group interview part. So we only have one online interview, and then we have like an application form we send online where we write like type of an essay. So I think for me, I think kind of it was in the essay, and I also tried to seem a little bit passionate, and I really wanted to emphasize the fact that I was very open to learn about new cultures and diversity and stuff like that.
Yeah, and for me, it was like being passionate about what I'm waiting for, my ambition for studying in UWC, sharing the values that every UWC school has, and also team collaboration, like teamwork, because for example, for our final day, we had to plan something in a group as our group activity, and I think I showed some good qualities of teamwork. And basically, if you have special questions about your countries, about NCs in your country, you can address them specifically to your national committees, because, for example, as Anna-Marie mentioned, they didn't have interviews, and for different UWC national committees, the selection stage is going to be different. So if you have specific questions, you can ask your national committees. Now we have a question about our residential life. So how do you manage your learning at the residential house? Do you have space? Do you want to answer this?
So the residences, there's two types of rooms in UWC Dilijan. You have 4-person rooms and you have 2-person flats. In every room you'll get your own wardrobe, your own bed of course, shelving, storage, and your own desk, which is a really nice place if you want to study, but obviously some people don't like studying right next to their bed. So we are also provided with 3 very large common rooms in every residence. And they're perfect places to study. You have lots of places to sit, both comfortable sofas, you can sit on the ground, it's carpeted, or you can sit on a desk and type on a chair. As well as that, we have the academic building which we're in right now, which is where we're doing our interview. Classrooms are kept open after classes end, so if you'd like to study in a classroom, you'll be more than welcome to do that. It's quite a nice space to focus, because you're usually alone in them. And we also have the library, which is also a very nice space to study. It's very quiet, and we have a great selection of books, both from Armenian literature and international literature. And yeah, the library is also a very nice, comfortable, quiet place to study. So there's lots of nice little study spots.
Yeah. We have a question about scholarships. So basically, scholarships are different for different national committees, but usually it depends on your need. They are need-based. So basically, you send your financial application, and your national committee analyzes it and addresses you like your scholarship. If you're a GSP student, you can choose your UWC college like directly, and you can't apply for scholarships, unfortunately, if you're a GSP student.
One thing that is worth mentioning on that topic between GSPs and NCs, although you can't receive funding from UWC, either a national committee or a college, as a GSP, Some of my friends with GSB have applied for GSB but have gained funding from external sources. So if you have a donor from your own personal life and they're funding your application, you can still apply to GSB and gain funding from them. It's just that funding won't come from UWC, either the colleges or the NCs in any way.
And also, it is important to research on your UWC schools. For example, currently UWC Dilijan has a history, and when you're applying to a specific UWC college, you need to know the story behind, like why was UWC generally founded, what was the purpose, and to understand if you're sharing the common values or not, because it is very important, as UWC is more about yourself, your personality, your personal values that you're sharing, and not just about your grades, for example. But also grades are important for your application. So.
Every UWC around the world is, I'm sure most of you know, there's 18 colleges around the world. They're all kind of known for different things. For example, Robert Bosch in Germany is known for sustainability. Pearson is known for wildlife. Here at Dilijan, we're known for conflict resolution, also sustainability, nature. It's like a bit of both. If you want a good mix, Dilijan is a really good place to go because you're exposed to a lot of different opportunities. So, like I was saying, it's really important to research the school that you're going to. The UWC Dilijan website is really well equipped, as well as the Instagram. It's very frequently posted on. You can keep up to date with all the activities that our school gets up to, all the opportunities that we have as students, all the events that we host. So if you'd like to learn more about UWC Dilijan, the website and the Instagram are definitely a great place to go.
Yeah. And as there are many questions about specifically Armenia and UWCD, so UWC, as Mikhail mentioned, is one of the greenest UWC colleges, and there are many facilities here. For example, we have a swimming pool, we have a gym, we have a big court, we have different courts for tennis, for badminton, for basketball, also a very big FIFA certified football court. So basically, the facilities are one of the best. And specifically questions about your national committees should be addressed to your national committees, as we mentioned. We have a question here. What do you do on breaks, for example, Halloween? Do you want to answer?
Oh, on like holidays. Okay.
Yeah, holidays.
For holidays like Halloween, usually, so we have a social committee, which is a group of about 6 students that organize like activities and events to keep the social life going on campus. So usually when we have a holiday like Halloween, they can plan a dress-up day, and if it falls on a weekend, they can also plan a party which students can go to on campus.
Yeah. More questions, guys? Be interactive. Is it demanding academic-wise? So yes, it is very important to show your academic skills. Like, for example, IB score consists of 45, and the passing score is 24. So you have no other choice than study, and you have to score high on some of your subjects, especially on your high-level subjects, because they are the most important ones. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that you can ignore your standard level classes. And yes, that's academic-wise.
I'm just reading some of the questions as well. This is quite a personal one that I think all of us can answer. It is, what was the biggest challenge you faced while adapting to life at UWC, and how did you overcome it? Because like going from wherever you come from around the world, coming to a boarding school with ranging from 200 to sometimes between 1,000 different people from all over the world, it's a big adjustment. So what do you guys think was like a tip to adjusting? What was a hard thing? How did you overcome it?
I think this is a really interesting question. For me, I'd say we all know UWC is about like diversity and meeting different people, and while that's easy to like talk about sometimes, I found that here, for example, when someone expresses a different opinion, I used to find it very hard to, let's say, not react, like have a good conversation, like not argue, instead discuss it properly. And I think that's a good skill I've learned here, since like talking to many people who have like many different opinions and come from different backgrounds. I think I've been able to learn more about like discussing to learn more, not to argue, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's like something very important I've learned here.
Yeah. We have a question. Does the academics start the first day you arrive? Basically not. You're having an induction week during which you have the time to accommodate to the campus and also get some friends, speak because it is the first opportunity to really spend your time all the way you want, because you're not going to have that much free time during your academics, because you're going to be overloaded with your classes, with your essays, with different work. So basically, yeah, you're going to have some tours over the campus. You're going to be introduced to the subjects. Then you will have your second opportunity to choose finally your subjects. And yeah, basically.
Another question I'm reading is, do you get to engage with the community a lot? A couple statistics here which I'm going to read because I can't remember them off the top of my head, but UWC Dilijan has 9,000 community hours every year from students, and there are 3,360 students who attend activities annually. There are thousands of opportunities to engage with the community locally, nationally, and even internationally. We host many events, as we mentioned earlier, where you get to host people from around the country, and there are also many projects organized by the school where you get to go out into different parts of Armenia and engage with the community. For example, I believe just a few weeks ago there was a project to a surrounding village where we repainted and rebuilt a playground. So there's many opportunities to engage with the community. That's community engagement, I'd say, is one of the biggest parts of UWC Dilijan, because the founders, Ruben Vardanyan and his husband, his wife, Veronica Zonneven, one of their main missions was to really put Dilijan on the map in terms of education, and UWC Dilijan has become a very big part of the local economy and community. So there's many opportunities to engage with the community if that's something that you're looking for.
Yeah. And adding on to that, it's also a big part of our learning experience. So in our CAS, one of the things we have to do one service thing. So for the whole year, you do at least an hour of something related to service, and it's a big part of our learning and our extracurriculars, if you'd say.
Yeah. And also there's a question if we got help with universities. Basically this is a question for second years, but we have a university counselor in our school, UWCD, and in other UWCs it's the same. So basically students can go during the working hours and address their questions to the university counselor. And besides that, we're having many universities coming here in UWCD specifically, and we're going to have, for example, question and answer session this week as well from different universities. So basically, yes, you're getting help from.
I like our university counselor is amazing. She's very well organized, and she's very receptive to students. She does a great job with her work, and I believe around 45% of UWC students end up, when they graduate, going to universities in America. Some of the top universities come to UWC Dilijan to visit us, to host sessions, to look for applicants. So you get a lot of help when it comes to universities. Especially from our alumni community as well. It's a very strong, tight-knit community who are always ready to help. So, for example, if you're looking to apply to Columbia or Berkeley in the US, you can search through our alumni list and you can find someone who's been there. You can talk to them, you can find out what their application was like, and they'll be more than happy to help you.
How are you coping with your roommates? This is a basic question. So, for example, if you're having some issues with your roommates, you can always talk to them because the communication is always fine, it's free. You can talk to your roommates whenever you want. You can, address your questions or the issues that you're raising, and unless it's something very deep and very important, you can just solve little issues with your roommates. And as there are, for example, 4-person rooms and 2-person rooms, most likely you're going to have some, I don't know, maybe issues with 4-person rooms because there are more people in the rooms. But you can always reach your roommates and discuss the questions you're worried about, and I think it's like that.
I mean, your roommates from day one, they come pick you up from the buses when you arrive at campus. They are supposed to be the closest people to you. You know, you spend most of your time with them in the room, so you know, they're typically your best friends in some cases because you spend so much time with them. Whether it's a 2-person room or a 4-person room, it truly becomes like a family. I mean, like you have the wider family of UWC Dilijan, of course, with the community that we have and the entire cohort, but if you are lucky enough to get along really well with your roommates, which is the case for most people, then it is like a mini family. It becomes a home away from home. You get to decorate your room however you want, and yeah, you're definitely very close with your roommates, definitely.
How old are the students there? Anne-Marie, you want to answer?
What?
How old are the students?
The students are from when we start, like 15, 16 or 17, I think. And then it goes to like 18 and 19. So yeah.
It varies a lot, but you don't really usually notice the age difference. Like when I first got here, I was just turned 16, but my other roommate who was in the same year as me, he just turned 18. So when I graduate, I'll be 17, he'll be 19. There is a bit of an age gap that you wouldn't usually have at schools back home, but honestly, you don't even notice it because you both grow together regardless of your age. Yeah.
What kind of person should come to this campus? What actually you're getting compared to other campuses? So basically, if you're a person who loves doing many activities, like specifically physical activities, for sure UWCD is one of the best colleges for that, because as I already mentioned before, we have a tennis court, we have a badminton court, we have a big indoor courts for basketball, for football, also an outside court, FIFA certified court for football. We also have swimming pool, and besides that, you're free to go to different competitions, and if it concerns different type of physical activities, of course you'll get the chance to do that. Also, academic-wise, the academic building is very cozy and big. You can always study here, and also you can do your homework after classes in the classrooms. We also have a very big library with many books, diverse books. You can find your space, a quiet space there to study, and we have 3 different floors for studying in the library. And also, before coming to UWC Dilijan specifically, you need to be consistent about the changes in weather, because it is quite expectable. And also bring some winter clothes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, in addition to what Haik was saying about the outdoor and sporting facilities, UWCD also offers a lot of outdoor trips in Armenia, so you get to visit a bunch of different places. For example, hiking is a big thing here. We have like a running club that hikes almost every week, and there's a bunch of different like beautiful trails around, and you can also go do like rock climbing and like a bunch of different things in Armenia, like outdoor activities if you're interested in that. In the winter we have skiing, so like a bunch of students can go skiing. We also have some people go ice skating, and like for some people it's very exciting because it's their first time seeing snow or something like that. So yeah, and then also if you're someone who's interested in because of the unique geopolitical location of Armenia, we are like a campus that also like is very conscious about like conflict resolution. So for example, every year we have an MUN that's attended by people from many different countries. So if you're interested in that and you'd want to participate, like Dilijan is the perfect place for that, because you get to meet so many people from different places. And there's also LCOI, which is Local Conference of Youth, if you're interested in sustainability. That's also another big conference that happens annually here at UWCD, and it's attended by a bunch of different people from different places, and it's a great way to learn more about like advocacy and like youth activism, and like if you're interested in those things, it's the best place to be here.
Yeah. And also the outdoor activities that Divine mentioned are being organized every week or every 2 weeks. So basically it also depends on the weather, but it is pretty often. And you can attend many of them, and it depends on the weather. For example, in summer you can go hiking. In autumn it's pretty much the same. In winter you can go skiing or some other different activities. And as for sustainability, we're having different sessions, and as UWC Dilijan is mainly developed on sustainability, we have many sessions even about that, to which you are going to be introduced during the induction week. And separate Armenian courses are offered. As for Divine mentioned that there are many trips over Armenia for you to be prepared, and the course is pretty productive. So after attending them, you can also speak with the natives in some level. So, yeah.
No, there's one question I saw that I'd like to answer. It is, are there any Arabian or Muslim students? When it comes to Arabian students, I actually challenge you not to find someone from any continent or any region in the world. They're all represented. When it comes to Muslim students or religion, there is every religion I can think of at this school. There's religions I didn't even know existed but have now learned about coming to this school. Armenia was the first country to adopt Christianity as an official religion. So if you're a Christian, you'll be very well represented here. As I mentioned at the start, both my parents are Pakistani, so I grew up as a Muslim, although I'm not currently practicing. And the Muslim community is very strong at UWC Dilijan. The school is very accommodating of our needs as well. For example, during Ramadan, the school provides us with food for iftar and for sehri, for when we are fasting. And the school also provides us with some time off for Eid. So no matter what your religious needs are, the school will be accommodating as long as you approach it right. And for example, if you are representing a religion that is not currently represented here, that's not an issue at all. You'll be the first person, that's great. But as I can think of right now, every major religion in the world is represented at UWC Dilijan. And yeah, like I said, if it's not already, you can be the first.
Yes. We also have a question: how often do you get to leave the campus? Actually, it depends on you. So, for example, the first month you arrived, you can't leave the campus quite often because of safety rules and precautions. But after that, you can leave the campus pretty much every day. But as long as you return back to the campus till 9:30. On weekends, it's a bit later, 10 o'clock. In the evening, but yeah, and also during the project weeks, we're having them every semester. Some part of the project week, you're having trips through Armenia, and the rest of the week you can spend wherever you want. Usually it's the capital, and you can have time. So basically you will always find to leave the campus if it's really important and necessary.
And every 3 weeks, on the weekend, we have something called overnight, which is like when you're allowed to leave campus to go and be somewhere else. Like, for example, a lot of people go to the capital of Armenia, Yerevan, and they rent like an apartment, and you can do different types of things on your own outside of schools.
Yeah. And also, if you don't have the opportunities financial-wise, you can always find an Armenian student to ask for an accommodation for a few days. Or there were even some cases when a student lived in Armenia, for example, during the whole summer break. So that's an option too. Yeah. Some more questions, guys?
Keep asking questions. We only have like 10 minutes left before we start wrapping up. So ask more questions. Anything that's on your mind about UWC or UWC Dilijan specifically, we'd be happy to answer. So keep asking. I see one, which is which one is the best UWC?
Dilijan.
Yeah. I mean, of course, it depends on you as a person. Like Heike was saying earlier, you research each one and you decide which one's best for you. But I think honestly, we're all here because we thought Dilijan was the best one for our own personal reasons. But it is a very well-equipped campus with a lot of pros. And yeah, it depends on you as a person. But I think overall, UWC Dilijan is definitely one you should be considering. Because no matter what your interests are, whether it's science, art, music, nature, psychology, whatever, it's a great place to be because they're all easily accessible. There's a lot of opportunities for whatever interest you have.
Yeah, as we mentioned before, there are 220 students from 80 different nationalities, so you will always find diversity in UWC Dilijan, and you can always talk to diverse people, find out about different opinions, different perspectives on the world. So, yes. What is minimum GPA required to attend UWC? Do you want to answer this question?
I think it depends on the national committee. For example, my national committee, the Zimbabwean one, you need something like 7 A's in your Form 4, which is like junior high, let's say. But it depends on the national committee.
Yeah, but actually, yes. Actually, it is very important to maintain your good grades before coming here, like your secondary school or your high school, because it is very important for the IB to know if you're ready for the experience here, because it is much different from the school you studied before. So yes, first of all, the subjects are less, but the homework given and the work that you are assigned is much more and difficult. So basically you need to be ready for that, and the only way to check if you're ready or not are the previous grades. So basically that's why they are important.
I also think it really depends on the national committee, because I think, for example, in Norway they have like 6 main different things they rely on when they choose the students, and it's only one of them that is the grades. So that means you have like a lot of other things you can use to get into UWC without having the best grades.
Definitely, yeah. On the UWC International website, there is a general selection criteria, which every NC takes from, but then they each, as they were all saying, have their own specific requirements. For example, for the GB National Committee, academics, it wasn't even, like, of course you're expected to be performing well academically, but there were no official grade requirements that you needed. So I found that quite interesting compared to other schools in England. If anyone else is familiar with them, with A-levels, it's all just grades, 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 grades. They don't even read your personal statement when you apply to college. It's all just if you have the grades or not. So I found that really interesting about UWC, at least applying from Great Britain. But yeah, it definitely differs from NC to NC, so definitely check out your NC's websites or DM them on social media, contact them. They'd be more than happy to answer your questions.
Yeah. We had a question about I'm applying this year. What would you advise me to do? So from my personal experience, what I learned is that you need to be yourself. Just talk about what you love to do, what you're good at, show your strength sides, show what you love to do in your free time, show your experience in extracurricular activities, just introduce your strong sides. Yes. And also don't overthink, because everything is much easier than you think, and the more you overthink it, it's getting just complicating for you. So basically there's no need to do that, and just try to be yourself and don't lie in the applications, most importantly. Yes.
It will come back and bite you in the end.
We have a very interesting question. What challenges have you faced in UWC? I think this mostly reflects on UWC shock, because when you come into intercultural environment, most of all you're not expecting to see many things that are actually here. So basically what you need to do is just be cautious about what you're doing. There is always a well-being counselor who you can talk to if you have something to discuss. And basically don't feel ashamed or don't feel shy to approach anyone, because all the staff members are ready to help you always. and that's one of the advantages. Yes. When you arrived, did you already speak fluently in English? So basically, knowing English before coming and knowing English after graduating is different. But actually, it is preferable. But it is not mandatory to know English before coming here, because again, most importantly, UWC National Committees and Global Selection Program. It is important to introduce your personal values, not your English level. But I think most of us had the basic knowledge in English. But there are always English support courses, especially in UWC Dilijan. And if you have some difficulties with English, you can do English support course along with your other classes, and it's going to be fun. So don't worry about your English.
Yeah, and we've had many students who came here with barely any, knowing barely any English, but they were able to learn English here by talking to the people and taking the support courses, and by the time they graduated they were basically fluent. So
I believe there was a question about what kind of food we get at UWC Dilijan. There is some controversy about the cafeteria, but I think it's great. Honestly, I think people complain too much. The cafeteria is really great. The cafeteria ladies are honestly the sweetest people we will ever meet. The thing that I like the most is it's unlimited proportions. You can keep saying more and more and more. You can come back for seconds, thirds and fourths. There's as much food as you could ever want. I believe the question was centered around whether it's local or global. The food, you do get a very nice opportunity to try Armenian food, which is the most common type of food that you'll find in the cafeteria. However, you'll also quite often find dishes from international cuisines as well. I believe, Anna-Maria, you mentioned regional evenings earlier. So the day before regional evening at lunch, you have the cafeteria is centered around dishes from that region. So you always get food from all over the world, but there is definitely a lot of Armenian local food that you can try as well, which is really nice.
Yeah, we also have a food committee at the school that impacts which type of food is served, so students can have some impact on that as well.
Yes.
There was a question asking if any of us applied twice to come here. Did any of us apply twice, or is this first chance for us? Oh, lucky us. But sometimes this is what they told me before they sent out acceptance or rejection letters for GB National Committee. Just because they rejected you for the first time doesn't mean you're rejected forever. You can apply twice, and sometimes it's just a case of you not being ready as a person yet. They assess your personality very deeply, and you could be the perfect candidate. You have all the extracurriculars, you have the passion about UWC, you're committed to the cause and the mission of UWC, and your academics are good, but sometimes they just don't think you're ready as a person yet. And if they think that, trust them, they know what they're doing, it's their job. So it could be an issue of maybe you're not independent enough yet and you need another year to learn more about yourself, become more independent, and then apply again. So none of us have applied twice, but if you're applying once and unfortunately you don't make it, definitely apply twice, definitely.
And also don't forget to ask for feedback, because many national committees also provide feedback after applying for the first time. And if you unfortunately lose, for example, and you don't qualify for the first time, you can always ask for feedback to understand for yourself what could you improve. And you're having almost a year to improve, to change, to bring some change, to improve your legs. And the next year when you're applying, you can just use some background knowledge to describe how you changed yourself, your personality in this 1 year. What kind of improvement did you have? And this is a great advantage for your national committees to see that you're a really passionate and ambitious person to bring some changes in yourself.
I think we'll do one more question, just to wrap it up, to finish it off. A quite interesting question I thought that could be quite personal for all of us is, How did you guys settle in when you came here? Like, did you not feel like you were alone? I think we'll go around answering that.
Do you want to start?
Yeah, sure. I think personally, I find it hard to feel alone when you're here because, like, you know, you have your roommates, you're with them, you go to school with your friends, you're in the gym, there's your friends there, you go to cafeteria, there's people there. Honestly, trust me, you'll have a harder time. You'll want to be alone sometimes, and you won't be able to. You're not going to feel alone. There's always going to be someone from the same country as you, or speaks the same language as you, or follows the same religion, or has similar interests, or takes the same subjects, takes the same clubs. The good thing about coming to a school as diverse as UWC Dilijan is that you'll always have someone who is similar to you in some way. And to be honest, you make the best friends with people who are different to you. So you'll find people like that too. So you'll struggle to be alone. Honestly, it's hard to find some time to spend just by yourself. So don't worry about that. I think you'll settle in. People settle in at different rates, but you don't have to worry about feeling alone. There's always going to be a friend there for you. People are very friendly here.
Yeah, and believe me, everybody is experiencing the same as you, so don't worry about that. And we have a very wonderful well-being counselor in UWCD who you can always address your questions, your worries. You can share your personal thoughts, and don't be shy to do that because everybody is experiencing some stress, some kind of failure while here at UWC, and it's definitely normal, and you should now concentrate on it or worry about it. Yes. And also, if there are some questions that we didn't answer, feel free to reach our national committees to get your answers.
Yeah. Or you can contact UWC International.
Yeah, sure.
Leave their their email and their Instagram on your Instagram. You're watching it here, but their email is also linked on their website. So feel free to contact them as well. They'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions if we did not cover them. For anyone who's just joining or joined late, this live will be posted in its entirety, so you can watch back at it if you missed a question, and the highlights will also be posted a few days later.
Yeah. Thank you for joining, and thank you for your questions.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Bye.